Things I do as a dad when traveling long distance with my 4-year-old twins. We recently got back from our trip on the East Coast, and as many parents know, traveling with kids can add a bit more stress, anxiety, pre-planning, you name it, to making sure everything goes smoothly, or at least to try and make everything go smoothly. And one thing that Chris and I are on the same page about is having a yes day for Bryan and London when traveling long distance. So a yes day for us really means saying yes to Bryan and London more often on a long travel day to help ensure a smooth experience for us and for those around us. So Bryan and London have their own tablets that only work on the airplane. It's the best kept secret ever. And we always make sure to download some of their favorite movies directly onto it in case the Wi-Fi on the plane isn't working. Back at home when we do family movie night, we watch one movie and then screen time is done. On the plane, they can pick out any movie that they want. And if all goes well and they're in good spirits and things are running smoothly, if Bryan and London ask, hey dad, can I, oh my God, I just said dad. Ugh. But if they asked, hey dad, can I watch another movie? And we still have, 3+ hours into the flight, we're gonna say yes. Again, they don't get that amount of screen time when we're at home, but we're flying cross country and we really want them to be comfortable and happy. And so do I. Another thing that we do during Yes Day is their snacks. There's a snack box inside their backpack and it's filled with some of their favorite things. Applesauce, goldfish, yogurt melts, fruit snacks, sliced fruit, whole fruit, you name it. With the help of Miss Allison, we usually try to pack their favorite things, so that way they'll be taken care of during the long flight. We always make sure to bring extras and keep those in our backpacks in case they bow down and eat it all super fast. On a yes day, if London's working through her Welch's fruit snacks and she's not really interested in having crackers or fruit yet, and we like a second bag of fruit snacks, I'm gonna say yes. Some of you might be thinking, well, Bryan, you're filling them up on all the sugar and food. You're gonna have to deal with the sugar high after the fact. And you're right, we will have to, and we have. And that's when some extra patience and understanding comes in because we allowed it. That wouldn't be very fair for us to give them these wonderful snacks, the extra screen time, and then they're a little woo, and expect them to just snap out of it and act normal and civilized. Now, another thing that we do is help Bryan and London pack a backpack for the trip. Usually it includes their tablet and headphones, 1 to 2 books, a coloring book, their snack box, and their water bottle. Oh, and I can't forget, a small stuffy to keep them comfortable on the plane and in the hotels during our trip. And as they're getting older, we try to help them understand, hey, whatever you bring is yours, and we have to be responsible for keeping track of it, doing our very best to carry our own backpack. I do my best to help them understand that, hey, we don't want to bring too much or cause your backpack to get too heavy because you're the one who's going to be carrying it most of the time. Obviously, that doesn't always happen. They carry it for 5 minutes and, oh, it's so heavy, please take it from me. I will say, on the trip, they did very well. So when we go on family trips together, Chris and I remind ourselves to be more flexible and lenient when it comes to our schedules and routines. Flying from West Coast to East Coast, we lose 3 hours. Sometimes that can be difficult, not only for our kids, but for us. There's some trips that I've taken where I adjust like that and I'm fine, and other days where I cannot catch up and I'm tired and exhausted by, 6 p.m. Bedtime, for example. Here, we head upstairs at 7 p.m. and they're in bed, lights out by 7:45. And on trips, especially when the time changes, we adjust. And if they don't seem as tired as they normally are, then we become a little bit more flexible and allow them to stay up a little later. Now, I'm not saying they get to stay up till midnight. They're 4. That would be a disaster. But, for them to go upstairs, around 8:30, for example, with the time change and it being dark, we allow them to go to bed a little later. Having Miss Allison on this last trip is super helpful because not only do Chris and I see how the kids are, she sees it as well. The 3 of us can kind of gauge on oh, it's time, or maybe let them stay up a little later. Lastly is food, something that we have been doing with them since they were very little, and regardless of a trip, when we go out to dinners as well here locally, I really like to encourage Bryan and London to try something new. The kids' menus are usually chicken tenders, a cheeseburger, a quesadilla, or mac and cheese. I'm not saying that they can't have any of that on a family trip, but when we're home, going out to eat here, that's kind of what they have. And when we're traveling to different destinations, especially internationally, I would never force them to, but definitely encourage them to say, hey, try this. Chris is having a different type of meat dish, or we have a fun appetizer that's something that they've never really been exposed to. We just try to encourage them to say, hey, try a bite, and if you don't like it, we won't make you have any more. But we're here in this beautiful space, in this beautiful country, this beautiful city. This is what they're known for. Really try to broaden and expand their taste bud levels outside of mac and cheese or chicken tenders. I will say London is very adventurous, and for the most part, she likes to order off the adult menu. Ain't that a kicker? I expect, oh, our kids will cost $10 each. Nope, my daughter ordered the $40 carbonara with extra guanciale. You can always count on Brecken to be like, chicken tenders with ranch, please. But usually we can convince them to say, hey, take one little bite and see if you like it. And I would say 75% of the time, they surprise themselves. And I can tell the minute that food hits their mouth and their eyes go, oh, it's something that they really enjoy. And if we didn't encourage that, they would have never tried it. They would have never known that they loved mortadella or that they loved a bite of a scallop. So those are kind of like things that we've learned along the way, helpful tips and ideas that you can utilize and implement with your kiddos. If you have any others, leave me a comment and let me know.